right, we are here for a honeybee extraction in this home. You can see we've got siding on the house right here. The bees are in this corner. We're gonna remove the siding. We're gonna thermal image everything. We got a good heat signature right down through there. Remove the siding and decide exactly what's the best way to go in. Got Jesse here today. Hey Jesse, we are getting ready to get the frames ready, vacs ready, all of our tools. Understand exactly what we are going to be doing before we cut and do anything. That's the main thing, to be as least intrusive as possible, but safely getting these honeybees out. That'll be the plan. So we found the entrance. Once again, you got to be careful when you're doing these because there is romex running on the outside of that you've got to be careful, and there's cable fiber going in that we've got to be careful of as well. But the bees are behind this wall right here. We're going to remove that and get to them. Side, getting the bees backed up. Got a lot of comb with nectar. You see that electrical goes right through the comb, so we got to very carefully cut fiber out and the electrical out. And then I think we've got bees here on the other side of this as well. We'll check here in a minute. Once again, this is why it's so important to have an understanding of construction and knowing what you're doing, because here's a fiber, and I don't know why they did it, but they ran 110 underneath this siding, and the honeycomb was built all around that. So we had to be very careful not to cut the fiber, not to cut the 110, but extract the honeybees. Again, something hopefully that you won't get into, because most construction where honeybees are going to be is a cavity that they never intended to fill with anything. Although I don't understand why contractors don't just go ahead and fill that little hole with insulation. It would save a lot of heartache for people, but keeps us in business getting honeybees. So anyway, we've cleaned this cavity, but as you can see right there in that hole right there, we got bees coming and going. So we've got, this was all nectar, and we have that comb framed and placed inside of here. You want to get that nectar when you frame it upright, because if you set it on its side, if they've not capped it yet, all that nectar will run out and you'll lose it. So you want to set it upright as quickly as possible. We're going to clean that cavity out, get that sealed back up. We're going to open up the other cavity the same way, because when you're doing an extraction, if all you find is pollen and honey or nectar, you know you haven't found the mother load, because there is going to be brood somewhere in here. And I'm betting that brood is right in here. We're going to open that up and we'll see if we can find the brood, get it cut out. And what we do with it, we get it into the frames. It's not as critical keeping it upright, but what is critical is getting it inside that ice chest so that that brood doesn't dry out, doesn't change a lot in temperature. And if we don't get the queen, they can requeen off of her eggs. So getting this extraction done. All right, we're starting to open it up. Go ahead and break her on down. Oh yeah, this is what we thought. We're getting into newer comb, and this is where we ought to find the brood. All right, we opened up the other side, which you can see we had layer after layer after layer of comb here, and now we have found these honeybees in between. This this is where we're gonna find brood, and the queen's gonna be in here, but we'll be able to back these out and get this all cleaned up. All right, now just nice and easy. Okay. Start at the bottom. What you're gonna do here is you're gonna kind of tap, tap, tap. Tap, okay. Tap, 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 tap. Moving up. If not, you'll knock the whole thing down. Okay. All right. Well, what do you think about it, Jesse?
It's pretty cool.
On his first extraction. And this one was pretty involved. Pretty involved.